My task is, this is him continuing, my task is to consider the evidence at the trial and the conduct of the trial in light of the further evidence received at the inquiry to determine whether overall there is a reasonable doubt as to Ms Folbigg's guilt of the manslaughter of her child Caleb, the infliction of grievous bodily harm on her child Patrick, and the murder of her children Patrick, Sarah and Laura. I have reached the view that there is reasonable doubt as to the guilt of Ms Folbigg for each of those offences. Set out below is a summary of the basis on which I've reached that conclusion. My detailed reasons for each of the matters referred to will of course be contained in my report to the Governor, and his concluding paragraph says, "For these reasons I am firmly of the view that there is reasonable doubt as to Ms Folbigg's guilt. Although this is not a report pursuant to Section 82 of the Crimes Appeal and Review Act 2001 in New South Wales, I have no objection to this memorandum, that this memorandum be either published or that the Attorney General make use of it in such matter as he sees fit." And so, as you would expect, over the weekend I sought the appropriate advice and weighed up the options available to me very carefully, realising of course that the decision as what in relation to what to do with Mr Bathurst's preliminary findings is a matter for me and me alone. And so I weighed up those options very carefully. And so, considering Mr Bathurst's conclusion that he is firmly of the view that there is reasonable doubt as to Ms Folbigg's guilt, I consider that his reasons establish exceptional circumstances of the kind that weigh heavily in favour of the grant of a free pardon, and that in the interest of justice Ms Folbigg should be released from custody as soon as possible. And so this morning at 9:30 I met with the Governor. I recommended that the Governor should exercise the royal prerogative of mercy and grant Ms Folbigg an unconditional pardon. The Governor agreed. Ms Folbigg has now been pardoned.